Good morning, everybody. Well, oh, I sit down here today and I went a day ahead. Seemed like it's a little bit more fitting, well, considering I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. Sundays is the break. Get a little break from YouTube, and I guess it's all part of the balance that we learn, right? But tonight, I'm probably gonna be sharing my life story live, so maybe some people can relate, and those listening can understand where I come from. So that's what I'm gonna do this evening. Sometime I hate this at a certain time, but if you're looking at this channel and you want to know more about me, you want to maybe listen to some of my story, then this afternoon I'll be putting it on here. As humiliating as it may be, which I don't really find it to be, that's what it is. Man, it seems like I've been just wanting to be slow to do everything here the past couple days. That's the thing about life, is learning how to just get up and go and continue on no matter what. I guess that's the hard part sometimes, huh? Anyway, the reading for today is pretty simple. Control. Let's start with a prayer. God, we thank you for bringing us together, Lord, for being able to reach out to each other, to touch each other, to give everybody the gift of hope, the gift of sobriety, the gift of recovery, the gift of you. Lord, we ask that those who are a little sketchy on, skeptical on God, that you might open up their eyes, Lord, to let them see what's ahead of them, the success that's to come, Lord. And I just ask you, Lord, that this message reaches as many people as you'd have it reach, and it continues to reach as many people as you'd see it to reach. In your name I pray, amen. So the function of freedom is to free somebody else. Toni Morrison says, we all struggle over the issue of freedom. How much we want, how much we're comfortable with, how able we are to accept others' freedom. We cannot grow and create unless we are free to do so. In fact, our progress will be proportional to the freedom we feel to breathe, to move, to live fully. Control is the opposite of freedom. It steals the freedom of the controller as well as the one controlled. No one grows emotionally, intellectually, or spiritually if energy is being expended controlling. And yet the human condition is such that we passively, if not willingly, practice the game of control with the many principal characters in our lives. It's a game no one wins. Even when we're seemingly in control, we lose our freedom. When our attention is given over to the control of someone else, no one is free until we are all free. And when free, we will find joy in our work, at home, with friends. We too will discover the measure of joy we encourage others to experience. If I reach out to love, I'll find love. If I mete out control, I'll be diminished in turn. That's pretty crazy, because I struggle with control myself. I figure, it's like I was talking yesterday, that when I'm acting irrational, when I'm having them irrational thoughts, now I can actually catch them, 70% of the time, 80% of the time, I can catch them while I'm talking about them now, because I've grown into this program, the program of change, the program of life, the program of success. I can now change those thoughts and actions most of the time while I'm doing them. So before they get bad, I can catch them, and then I can move forward with a successful plan. I don't act as irrational as I used to. Control? Shush. I have a control issue. I'm sure most of us do. We're alcoholics addicts. We love control. I'm an alcoholic addict. I'm an alcoholic. I love everything. Anything that makes me feel good, I want to do it. And today, it's recovery. Today, it's reaching out to people. Today, it's to find what I can do to help someone else. Because when I am focused on helping someone else and what I can do to help someone else, I'm not focused on me too much. I'm not trying to control me too much. The only control I have is not having control. The only control that I have is giving up control. And that's what, that's what sort of, I want to tell you guys that, before I started doing the morning meditations online, live, I didn't have a set time to wake up and pray and invite God into my day. Usually, I wake up, I drink my coffee, I drive to work, and when I get to work, I get out of the car and I look up at the stars and I say, wow, that's beautiful. And then that's when I look at it and I say, and I start to pray and I talk to God. And, other days it might be a couple hours down the road. So, I'm not going to tell you there's any set time to say a prayer. But if you're waking up and you're watching this channel, or if you're going through the day and you say, oh man, I'm going to check out the channel. Okay, well, check it out. And when you check it out, we start with a prayer. All right, so whatever time of the day that is that you think about that, hopefully it becomes, more frequent, earlier, when you wake up, or, a lot of people believe that upon waking up, we should give control to God. Hey, that is good in theory, it is. But when I wake up and life hits me, I'm not, I'm not here to tell you I'm perfect. So sometimes I'm a little slow to that. But now, this commitment, see, because that's what the program's about. That's what this life change is about. It's about commitments. And once I make a commitment, being accountable for that commitment. So now, it doesn't matter. When I wake up, the first thing that I do is I make my lunch, I finish my lunch, and I come in here and I sit down, I pray, and I start our day. I don't just start my day. I start our day. Because that's what we're doing here. We're trying to put our day on a success route. Now, everything can boil back to control. Why am I doing that? To control my life? Well, sort of. I am sort of trying to control my life in a way. I'm not giving out control. I am expecting, which expectations suck sometimes, I am expecting in return to get a successful life, to get freedom and joy out of giving up control by giving out control. So it's all a balance thing in this program. We are doing this to control our lives, but I'm not trying to control my life. So more or less, I'm giving up control to get control back. Woo! Now that is some twisted stuff. Everything that we think about in this program, every saying that we have, every conversation that we talk about, it all boils down to control. The difference is I'm not trying to control it. I'm not trying to force it. What is God's will? God's will is, for me, is for what works out. If something in my life, if I'm praying for it and it begins to work out, I'm not forcing it, I'm not pushing it, then that's probably God's will to me. That's how I look at it. And I've been looking at it that way now for 5 years, and it seems like that has worked for me. So maybe it could work for you. Is that if I'm praying for something, expecting, if I'm praying for it and it just seems to start working out, I take that as a hint that that's God imposing His will on me. And that's a great feeling. You know, I gave up control to get control back of my life. I hope that you can give up control to get control of your life. And us being the control freaks that we are, and I say that because a lot of people that I talk to in the program, even out of the program, want to control everything, especially my boss. That's another subject. But if you want to get control of your life, then give up control of your life. If you give up control of your life, you will get control over your life. So, if you like what you hear and you want to hear more of what I gotta say, just smash that like button and subscribe today.